how do you feel about when people say they don't believe in God? Like God doesn't exist. It's this is just what the white man says. There's a God, but there's nothing. Pretty much, we just live and live, and then you die, you die. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, I think when people say that, I think they haven't taken the time to really be still and look around.
Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city, Chafuwa Meza. Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city.
All right, guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Chafuwa Meza podcast. I'm your host, Lemmy G, as you already know. Today we have a new special guest that you guys are gonna like. I don't even want to say anything. Before I say anything, I'm gonna just let her introduce herself because this is gonna be a dope episode. This is the first episode we're doing for 2025. So it's happy new year to you guys. Of course, happy new year to my guest. Yeah, let me let you go ahead and introduce yourself because this is dope right now.
Awesome. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm Tamisha Waden, singer, songwriter, artist, and just an all-around homegirl, round-the-way girl. The best way to describe me.
That is good. That is good. Welcome to the show. I know this is your first time coming to my platform.
Yeah.
This is the Chafuwa Meza podcast. So the first thing we do over here when you come, we do shots. As soon as we get here, that's the first thing we do. We just let everything out. We get loose so we can really go in as we proceed on the podcast. So
we do shots.
yes.
So I need to
Yes,
pour me one.
of
Okay, well
course.
then there it is. All right.
Yes. We got the big boy over here.
There we go. Okay, let's get it.
Unless you want to do something else, but I know you like the big boy, so.
Yeah, the big boy. Yeah, we do.
Everybody who comes to this show always wants the big boy. I don't know, man. Nobody want to try Hennessy. I thought Hennessy was the big boy.
This is definitely not for me.
It's not for most people, man. I don't know, man.
Take my apple juice
Definitely.
to go with it.
Definitely.
All right.
So this
Cheers and
is the beginning. This is for you to come into the show. Thank you so much. You're my first guest for this year.
you're so welcome.
I appreciate that.
So welcome.
Salute to you.
Salute. And there it is.
There it is.
All right.
And we can drink as we go. It's not like we only do one shot and then that's it.
Oh my.
It's a Chafuwa Meza table right here, man.
Okay.
Oh, and guys, also, it's my birthday weekend. So if I drink some more today, you guys might have to understand. Like,
Hey, birthday weekend.
Yes,
Well,
I gotta turn
happy
up.
early birthday, I guess I should say.
It's the weekend. So the whole
Celebrate. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I celebrate the whole month of
hell,
July.
man, you beat me to that. I don't think I can do that,
whole
man. I think it's pretty expensive for me. Once it's very expensive, and because I do, of course, my show you see we drink it, so I don't want to drink on my show and as well drink because I feel like it's too much for my body.
Oh,
So
no, I
kinda,
get it.
I kind of have to control it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't do that. I can't
Well,
really.
I'm not really a drinker.
Oh, you're not?
Not really. No.
Welcome to Kenya.
Occasionally, I might indulge. I call it communion. My dad told me to stop saying that. He was like, it's not communion. Cut it out. Anyway, that's Tamisha knees. I call it that. So, but no, so I find other ways to celebrate, right? Since I'm not really a drinker, but occasionally.
What do you normally do?
We turn up.
What's the turn up?
Travel.
Oh, that's my thing.
Travel. It could be just girlfriends getting together kind of thing. I do have a few, close girlfriends and then some who are just, in the crew or a part of the crew that are not really close to me. But some folks that just like to plan and have things, that kind of thing. So we celebrate all month. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Together.
Do you normally travel outside of America or just do local stuff here?
Outside of America, if I can. Yeah.
Economy,
But mostly, obviously in the States. I love Chicago. So Chicago is somewhere I will go at least.
Chicago?
Yes, maybe once a year.
Chicago is rough though.
It's rough. Yeah, but I love it.
Where do you go? To the hood?
No, definitely not. No, I am like the tourist when I'm there. I'm going
You go to the other side, huh?
I'm going to indulge in the culture, the music, the arts, and things like that when I'm there.
Okay.
The food, because I love a good deep dish pizza, honey.
Yeah.
Woo.
Have you ever seen the Michael
Chicago
Jordan
style.
statue? You seen
The
that,
what
right?
now?
Michael Jordan statue, the one outside the arena.
Yes,
You seen
I
that,
have.
right?
Yes, I have.
You has to.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, that's the whole thing, man.
Yeah, love Chicago. I love New York. I spent a lot of time in New York, long time ago. We won't talk about why, but I did. I spent a lot
But
of time in New York.
technically, where you from?
I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
Are you from here?
I'm from NC. Yes.
Oh my!
I'm a native,
goodness.
and I hear a lot. Well, so this is interesting. I didn't know we had an accent.
Oh yeah, that is.
Okay, well, so I hear a lot that, well, you don't sound like you're from Durham, or you don't sound like you're from North Carolina. And what I tell people is, hang around me long enough.
You'll find out.
You'll find out. Because just meeting me, you may hear me speak or whatever, and I may not sound like it, but the longer you hang around me, you'll hear it.
You'll get you. It's like in America, my favorite accent is New York.
Okay.
Yes, so
okay.
I'm pretty good at accents. I could tell like that's a New Yorker.
Yeah.
That's probably someone from the Midwest.
Yep.
I'm pretty good with that. I know someone from the South. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that is accents. I can tell that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. South is the best.
tough.
Because I like the food over here. The food is dope.
It is good.
Southern food. And then something about the South. They'll usually say we have this Southern hospitality. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're the absolute best.
So I salute.
when it comes to hospitality.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you've been to of course New York. New York people are mean out there.
Yeah, that can be pretty rough.
I don't know what's the problem. I mean, I've been out there and I've seen maybe it's the houses because they so.
It's so close, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have a lot of family who obviously is from North Carolina, but migrated up that way. And so all up the Eastern Seaboard, my mom and my dad's side of the family, but mostly my mom's family. I mean, I can go right now to Delaware. I can go to Jersey. I can go to New York. I can go to Maryland and just be.
But you don't want to go right now. It's pretty cold.
Tamisha doesn't do cold.
I'm right with you.
I do not do
I
cold.
do not do cold. I think probably I might say probably when it gets to like maybe mid-September, just maybe mid-September, early September.
Yeah.
I'm done traveling up north.
Yeah.
Till
No, I get it.
next year. It's
Yeah.
like I'll see you next year, guys. Like
I'll
this
see you
is
next
it
year.
right
Yep.
here. Because that coldness, it's not for me.
Yep.
It's definitely not for me. I'm staying down here. We can do, but lately you see like the other day, it just snowed in Texas. I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Because usually we stay down here, like here, Atlanta, of course, Miami.
Oh, I love Miami.
Anything else probably might be Texas. Like we do Dallas, Houston, stuff like that. Like just warm area.
Yeah.
Until next year, we come around, then we can do up north. But right now, you'll never see me on those kind of
Yeah,
areas.
no, I get it completely. I would have to say, like one of my favorite places to go, and I went there for my birthday this year, is Puerto Rico.
Oh, look at
I
you.
can make Puerto Rico home.
Okay.
That's how much I fell in love with it. Like it's beautiful, and so my father is a pastor, and I think he has some members that are actually Puerto Rican, and they are from Puerto Rico, and so they have talked a hole in my head about going and getting involved with some of the locals. They've given me information of some people to contact while I'm there. The next time I go, so I'm planning on going back this year.
Oh,
For my birthday.
June, right?
Yes.
That's the best time because it's summertime.
It is
Oh,
summertime.
man, you're so lucky, man.
Absolutely.
I'm not lucky. Look what happens, man.
Oh, man.
But okay, let's start from the beginning now.
Sure.
All right. So of course you're born in Durham, brought up in NC. Tell us a little. Tell us your journey being a child living right here in Durham, or at least North Carolina.
So, interesting enough, I lived in Durham until I was 5. I turned 5. I started school, elementary school, Fayetteville Street School. Shout out to all my Fayetteville Street folks in Durham. But started school, and probably shortly after, maybe a few months after, my father and the church body we belong to, moved their pastors. And so I moved around a lot as a child. So my first 5 years were there in Durham. And then from that point, Everything else is a blur. We were kind of all over the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
I do significantly remember being in Charlotte, North Carolina. I remember Anson County, which is Waynesboro, North Carolina. And the reason I'm mentioning Waynesboro, hey y'all, now you talk about country, honey, listen, Southern hospitality, country. Oh God, Waynesboro, North Carolina.
Oh yeah,
is it?
I've been there.
You have?
Yeah,
Oh
I've
my
been there.
gosh.
I know.
So like the bulk of, I would say, my childhood friends are from there.
I'm from there, and it's funny because you mentioned that people from those kind of areas sometimes when they speak, it's like their mouth don't move.
That is funny, but it's true.
I'm like, is there something in your mouth, man?
Yeah.
Could you use your mouth, please? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
No,
know what
no,
you're
no,
talking
that's
about
true.
Right now, man. Like,
Sorry, y'all, but it's true. Oh my
bro,
gosh.
that shit's crazy. But okay, so okay, by age of 5, you're moving around, you go to different places, making new friends.
Yeah.
And then now you come to find out your dad is a pastor.
He's a
right?
pastor.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? I'm pretty sure, probably like your friends or probably in school, people are making fun of you.
No, you know, I think as when we were younger, it's not something that we like talked about per se. I will say, okay, maybe we didn't talk about it, but we acted it out because it's what we did.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say it's all we knew because it's not all we knew. My parents, you know, allowed us to be kids. We did everything else just like other kids for the most part. But a lot of our life was spent in church.
Obviously.
In church, traveling for church, because my father just wasn't a pastor. You know, he was ordained a bishop, and he also worked in the actual church administration. So for the state of North Carolina, like if you know anything about structure of just businesses in general, you know, there's always the administration level of folks,
course.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got, you know, obviously your CEO or your CIO or whomever that is or whatever. And so, you know, my father's always worked jobs outside of church as well, but he's always had some type of a church job. So he would be CPMA secretary. I won't get into that because that's a whole nother of a story,
I know.
which I think you already know.
Yes, I do.
But
Yeah.
and then he was like, he's been educational leader for the Church of, you know, God of Prophecy for the state of North Carolina. So shout out to Kogop. We're not Kojic, we're Kogop. But yeah, so like he would be called on a lot. So wherever he traveled, if we were able to, we go with him, right?
Yes.
Obviously, there were a lot of times we couldn't go, so it would be him by himself, and we were there with my mom. My mom worked full time. We went to school. You know, Dad traveled,
So
and when he wasn't on the road, he was pastoring the church and working.
okay, when you say we, how many are y'all?
There's 4 of us, so
Okay.
I have 2 older brothers and a brother right under me, so younger brother.
So
Just
you're
4 of
second
us.
to last.
Second to last. I'm an only girl. Yep.
Yeah.
I grew up a tomboy.
Oh, really?
I was a girly girl, but I was also very much the tomboy.
So you scaring boys away?
I wasn't scaring them away, but you know, I never shied away from a tussle. So if you came and you stepped to me wrong, I'm throwing hands. I'm like the guys. I'm throwing hands like my brothers, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, I'm an only girl, so I'm around the boys all the time. I'm playing with dolls, I'm playing with my little tea sets and all that kind of stuff. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
But you know, a lot of times having older brothers, you want to follow them around. You want to do the things that they do. And of course,
sure.
my younger brother was allowed to, so why can't I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tried. They wouldn't let me. I did. I tried.
I always try to wonder. So during those times, right? Like probably a teenager, right?
Mm-hmm.
When other boys try to come in and try to holler at you, try to make a move on you, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure that was rough for them.
Rough for the guys, you
Yeah,
mean?
for the guys, yeah.
It was, but it wasn't. Because, like, my brothers are real cool,
Really?
right?
They just let that slide?
Nah.
3 brothers? Just like,
Nah, they don't let it slide now. They pay attention.
Exactly.
But, you know, they trust their sister. And they know that their sister... Here's the thing. I'm not going to let you slide. So if you step with foolishness, come doing? We're not doing that.
When I toast your ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They know their sisters, so they're like, all right, she cool.
Yeah.
But if we see something that she doesn't see,
Yeah.
we got her back. We gonna let her know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like that's they're real chill. Chill it, like I said, in the sense of they don't get involved unless they have to.
They have to.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They pretty much kind of, and my father's the same way. He doesn't get involved unless he has to. But if it's something he notices or he senses or he feels, he'll say it. He'll let me know, you know. Outside of that, I wouldn't say guys have it easy. But at the same time, all I say is if you gonna step, you better step correct.
I'm correct. Check yourself.
Absolutely.
Let me digress a little bit, right?
Okay.
In my first episode, I had a few friends over here that you actually arguing about being a pastor, and this is one of the questions we had. At least you can clarify for us: is being a pastor a job, or is this just something you choose to do?
So I will tell you what I know of it. It is a job. It's more of a calling than a job, right? Kind of, it's one and the same, right? Today, a lot of people call themselves, as opposed to being, as we say, called by God.
It's true.
And so I would say, if obviously you're calling yourself, then it might be a bit of a job, you know, because it takes, I think, grace. I think it takes a little more than just you wanting to do this. And, you know, a lot of people don't really know what goes into it, but because I've witnessed it all of my life, I was born into my father being a pastor. And so because I've witnessed it all my life, I'm just like, y'all, the folks out here that are wanting to do it, the question I have is, are you crazy? Who wants this?
They want it for the business.
Right.
Because they make so much money out of it. But those are the false prophets.
And that's right. And that's not everybody's story. Yeah, that's right. True. You know?
But now, being a pastor, are you supposed to be paid?
You know, I believe a man is worth his hire, I think is how the saying goes. So I believe that anybody who is giving up their time, their talent, their money, I believe they should be paid. You know, and here's the thing I say. The thing I can say about my father, and I can only speak for him because I've lived it and I know it to be true.
Yeah.
He's never been the kind of pastor that says, oh, I need a salary. I remember times when he wasn't getting anything from the church, and it was cool. He was still doing what a pastor does, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not like that. A lot of people get into it now because of the business of it. And because folks are seeing that, oh, there's money. You know, I can tell parishioners X, Y, and Z, they'll believe it. They'll suck it up.
Yeah.
I believe we call it itching ears, but that's another story for another day. We won't get into that. But yeah, a lot of people now are like, you know, there's money in this. They see the glam, the glitz and everything, and they go after that. But there's so much more to it than any of that. Like, that's not been my experience in terms of watching my mother and my father do this. And my father's been in it for over 50 years.
Woo-wee.
So you tell me, like I said, you know, it's a calling. And that is the one thing I know to be true. Like, because without the calling, like without it being a real calling, a lot of people fold and they quit when they don't get what they want. You know what I mean?
That's the key word. Yeah, you don't get what you want, then it's time to do says.
Yep.
Wow. So I want to understand you being raised in a family of a pastor, right? Mm-hmm. Now, would you consider yourself as the black sheep of your family?
No.
No?
Not at all.
Because you see, obviously, you know, there's the stigma people be saying about children of pastors. It's like they're hard-headed. They always happen to be the opposite of the dad. I mean, if they believe in this, they believe in that. Like, they just go separate ways.
Yeah.
Is that the case with you?
Yeah. Well, so a lot of people, it's funny that you're saying this because this has been something that has, well, I won't say plagued me. It's not plagued me, but it's been like a conversation my whole life. Gosh, you're PK, your pastor's daughter. Like, they say you guys are like the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys rebel and you go you go opposite of what your parents do. Here's what I say to that. We're human just like everybody else.
True.
We have our own lives to live, regardless of who our parents are. We have our own lives to live. We're all individuals, just the way God created us. Take, for example, me. I sing gospel, but I also sing R&B and jazz.
Woo,
right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of people have tried to make a big deal out of that. But at the end of the day, I'm a musician. Period. Okay?
Yeah.
When the job calls, whatever it calls for, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's my understanding of it. And I'll put it this way, I've not had any issues with my mother and father being who they are. They've wholeheartedly embraced me and my brothers. Now, my parents are very, what's the word I want to say? They're very true to who they are in terms of them being, we used to call them holy rollers. It's just me and my brothers, though, you know, having our conversation or whatever, because they seem so perfect, right?
Yeah.
They don't smoke. They don't drink. They don't use profanity. I've watched them navigate situations where people have been the rudest to them.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
And I've watched them handle it with so much grace.
Oh, wow.
No cursing, no getting out of character, no nothing. But still standing firm and letting them know, like, that's not gonna fly. Can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now me, I'm a different person. Cause I have been known to tell somebody I will snatch your ass up, okay? Sorry, Daddy. But that's where I differ, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, we're each individuals. We're
Yeah.
different. And while our parents are who they are, you know, they respect us for being who we are.
It's true because you see, most of the time we'll assume you being brought up in a let's say quote unquote in a church, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably be living almost like a perfect life. There's no cussing, there's no drinking, there's no smoking, there's
Yeah,
no going out,
yeah.
there's no
None of that.
doing anything until you get married. Like all this quote unquote perfect life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you end up being the other way, like, yo, I'm gonna do me regardless. You know what I mean? My
Yeah.
parents will take me for who I am, and shit, if it's drinking, I'm gonna drink. If you go, oh, you do go out. I mean, you used to go out at that time, right? They never, your parents never stopped you, right? So you went out clubbing, and they knew that.
Well, no. So I've never been the kind of person to club. I have gone to clubs in college, you know, with friends. And I was always like a fish out of water because it was just never my thing. I never felt comfortable. I never knew what to wear. I'm a tomboy. I don't really care. I would have went in some jeans and a t-shirt. You know, it's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they never had to like deal with that kind of thing with me. Or even my brothers, because I don't know that my brothers really clubbed like that. I'm sure they've all been, some of the stories I've heard. But, you know, I don't know. It's like my mom has this saying, it's so funny. She said, y'all waited till y'all got grown to be stuck on stupid. Whoa, what does that mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But she was just like, you know, you guys were good kids.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't give a lot of trouble like a lot of, I guess, PKs might, per se. Like, you know, and I think it was because my mother and father, although very strict on us, right? When they moved and the doors of the church were open, it was time to go. They wanted us to be there with them, but they made it so that we didn't have to fuss or fight about it.
Yeah.
We wanted to be there.
Yeah.
They made it fun
Yeah.
for us. We loved it, you know. We loved being there with like other young people, and all of us played instruments. So we got to play our instruments at church.
nice.
We had a good time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was never like a dogmatic thing. You gotta go, or you
Yeah.
gotta be this way, or you gotta that, or you gotta that. My dad would always encourage us, and he does it now. Be who you are. Be authentically you.
Yeah.
Because God can't bless you trying to be somebody else.
That's true.
Be you,
I
you know.
I like that.
So-
That's so true. Oh my God, man. So let's go something else.
Okay.
Music. I know because you say you do music and you do gospel and R&B. Let me jump on the R&B side real quick for a second. Sure. So when you do R&B music, right, you're creating your own song. In the back of your mind, when you pick a topic or at least whatever you're gonna sing about, do you consider your parents behind you? Like, okay, if they hear this song and then I'm the one, I'm the one singing this song, they're gonna be like, what?
I consider me first because there are certain things I'm just not going to talk about. I feel like the market is oversaturated with a lot of that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. If that's what y'all do, I'm not doing that. I don't need to. I do think about them. I think about them in the sense that, I represent them just like I represent me. So I do think about it. I have done some things musically that they probably would not be happy with. But I mean, my father again and my mother are resilient. And I say that because they have allowed their children to be, right? They don't place all these, labels and you're gonna be because I told you to be and that kind of thing. Yeah, right. They were strict. They still are. And they never fail to tell us what's right? They continue to tell us, scripture and do what's right. And they continue to admonish us. But at the end of the day, my dad was like, if this is what God has called you to,
go ahead.
Then do it, Yeah. And he told me some time ago, him and my mom, when I was in high school, I remember I sang for something. I was probably ninth grade and so naive. Oh my God. But ninth grade, and I sang for something, and my parents said my dad can tell the story better than I can, but he said he was sitting there with my mom, and he said he remembers me walking out on stage, and he said, you begin to sing. And he said, the moment you started singing, he said, people were standing and crying and jumping up out of chairs and jumping over chairs and just, and he said everybody on stage, which was all of the staff, including the principal, were in tears.
Whoa.
And he said he knew then, he said he looked at my mom and he said he told her her gift is not just for the inside of the four walls of the church. And so he kind of knew at that point, this is bigger than her. Yeah. It's bigger than church.
Yeah.
And so since that time, whatever I've been called to do, which is such an interesting, I just chronologically thinking about how things have happened for me. I know, number one, I know it's God. Number two, they understand. They've been supportive. They haven't been at everything to come and support me physically by being there, but their prayers, their phone calls to say, you're on our heart. We're praying for you. They're behind me. You know what I mean? So that means everything.
I was just thinking about this for a second. I was like, okay, what if, because of course your parents are Christians, what if you came to them and be like, oh, you know what? Nah, I believe I want to be a Muslim.
Ooh, interestingly enough, I was engaged to one years ago. Oh my gosh. My mother and father never said anything.
Really?
Never said a word. They adored him. They loved him. He was such a good guy. And their only thing was know what you're getting into and know that if you marry him, you got to live with him for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So think about it, but we love him, and they even thought like he would be such a great addition, to our family. And my dad was like, obviously, because this is my father.
Yeah.
He was like, if we could get him saved. But, obviously that's my mom and dad. That's just how they are, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. They want the best for their daughter. And so, but yeah, they totally embraced him, loved him. My brothers, all of my family actually, they totally embraced him and they thought like he's wonderful. Like he came from a great family. I remember traveling to Washington D.C. I would go holidays and stay with his family, and we would eat, and our families come together, and it was wonderful.
So how was it between the two of y'all? Because obviously he's Muslim and then you're Christian. Did you guys just keep the religion away and then everybody just live their life, or you just keep discussing this conversation?
So I was fully Tamisha. I've never not been myself. I'm always me. Look, this is how I live. This is what I do. I go to church. I'm on the worship ministry. So if that's okay with you,
Yeah.
then we cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it was. And I would even invite him, come play with us. Wherever I was, I would invite him, if it meant, us finding jobs for him to pay, get him paid and that kind of thing. Obviously, because it worked for him because he was a musician as well.
Oh, okay.
And we met in college and that's how we got to know each other. But yeah, so, it ended up just being, this is who I am, And then, of course, he would say to me, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And we both lovingly embraced each other. You know what I mean?
I like that.
My parents told me after the fact that, the reason we didn't say anything is because obviously you're grown. We want you to make your own decisions.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, understand, the two, if you're really trying to be together, you need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that it couldn't have worked, but, they let me make that decision. And I love them for that because they don't get involved to the point of, we gonna stop this, we gonna whatever. They love people for who they are.
I like that, man, because you was trying something I've never thought of trying, like dating someone from a different background as far as religion comes in. Oh, that is kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, but salute,
It's very different.
salute to you, man.
It's
That's
very different. But, definitely something that obviously I never saw coming in college, but, met a guy and I thought the world of him, still do. I think he's a wonderful guy. And, he's, of course, married and has a child now, but, still just a wonderful guy. We had a wonderful relationship for the time we had it. And, yeah, my parents were cool.
Wow.
Really, really
and he knew you drink, right?
Huh?
He knew you drink.
Oh, he did too.
What? Yeah, yo was wilding, man.
He drank and he smoked. I mean, but we were in college. We were kids.
Hallelujah. What is
were
going
kids.
on right now, man?
Kids in college having a really good time is
you have
all
to.
I'm gonna say.
Of course, yeah. You gotta live your life, man.
Yeah.
So okay, that's what's up. I know. So you do, of course. Now you do R&B and you do gospel as well. So,
Gospel, jazz,
Oh, you do everything, jazz, everything. Which one do you like more?
Oh God.
Which is your favorite? Yeah, the one.
I have to be honest. Gospel is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Listen, there is nothing like gospel music. R&B, don't get me wrong, it fuels me. But gospel, there's just something, it's just something extra about it that just, whew, oh my goodness. I get excited, period, talking about music. So just, you have to excuse me.
I mean, that's the goal because you do music. You're an artist. So gospel gets you. Like,
Love gospel music.
So, can you collaborate with someone who does rap, per se?
Can I what now?
Collaborate, do a feature.
Absolutely. I can collaborate with, yeah. I actually have collaborated. So I had the opportunity to work with the Foreign Exchange some years ago. And, it's just been very, very, like I say, when I say God has really had his hand on the moves that I've made, maybe not, all of them. So maybe I've made some decisions on my own, but for the most part, that decision I think was a divine decision, that God allowed Fonte to reach out to me, and I ended up working with the Foreign Exchange. And so Fonte, I'm on his record. I'm on the Little Brother record, the new one of the latest records that they did. I think it's the first one they did when they came back. I want to say not back to the industry, but when they finally made a decision to come back and put some music out. I'm on that actual record on think the title of the song is Pastor Tigolo. Should check that out. It's a really dope jam. It's a dope jam because his name is, he calls himself Fontiglo. So Pastor Tigolo, he a pastor too because he be preaching low key. You be preaching Fonte, low key, really. Nah, but no. I've had an opportunity to collaborate with him, and then obviously through him, he's allowed me to, be a part of other hip hop records. With other names like Odyssey and Pheromone. And then I don't remember the name of the other guys, but it's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done, actually, in terms of the songs. Y'all go check me out. There's a catalog out there, Tamisha Waden.
Yeah, we're gonna put your all your info, and then they will check you out. Cause you gotta put me on, cause I don't even listen to any. I don't know any popping gospel music right now.
Oh, okay.
You gotta put me on.
Fonte is not gospel. That is all hip hop.
That's hip hop. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was just getting that from the backstory you was mentioning. Yeah. But yeah, I need some gospel music. I mean, when Sunday comes around, like tomorrow, I need something.
You need something to listen to.
Yeah, I need something to.
It's so much out there now. Gospel has changed.
But I want the true gospel. I don't want the ones that want to sound like rap music.
I got
that's
you.
what they doing. They're just copying rap and then taking away the profanity and they make it sound like man. Since that we're not constantly just listen to this, I'm like, no, let's just do gospel for gospel, and then rap is just rap.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel. It's just me. Maybe I'm old school, but anyway, that's just me.
I'm kind of that way too. Like, I have such a respect for artists like Lecrae and different ones that are doing the gospel rap. Huge respect. Can't say that it's my favorite. My uncle, my favorite uncle, Arthur Baldwin. Shout out to him. He introduced me to a group years ago. I'm dating myself now.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. It's a group called Transformation Crusade. They were hip hop. They were rappers. And when I say we loved listening to them, like I can remember some of the lyrics to some of their raps now, but like that music was so solid. And I don't know why, like I love that, but nowadays the stuff just like, no, give me real hip hop, give me real rap, like, the Pete Rocks and the R&B, I mean, not Pete Rock. He's not rap, but he's producer. But give me like the Commons and give me the Eric B and Rakim,
the Talib Kweli,
okay. The Talib Kweli's, give me that, right?
He's a Kendrick Lamar.
Exactly. Give me that. That's what I want to hear. And these are some of the ones that I listen to now, right? I must say, while I have a respect for all artists and their artistry, there's a lot of music nowadays
that are garbage, huh?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. But yep, it's so. How do you feel about this? Just a few days ago, I saw there was a band that were playing their gospel music in church, and at the same time they twerking.
They're talking.
Twerking, not talking.
Twerking.
Twerking. In church.
Where is this?
I mean, it was online. I was just watching online. Like I was like, oh, this is the new thing now? Like people want to do twerking in church?
Yeah, no. And I'm just gonna say no. It's so inappropriate. One doesn't go with the other.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like shit is completely different right now.
Yeah.
It threw me off.
Yeah, no, and I get it.
Look at the setting as well. This is in church, not anywhere in the public.
Yeah.
In church, in a building.
Yeah.
They're performing. They're singing gospel. At the same time, they're twerking.
Yeah, that's a bit much. That's again, the two don't go together. That doesn't. Yeah.
But how do you feel about that? Because they feel like this is how we're gonna get people's attention to watch and come to church.
I think people are beginning to compromise, and it's not a good look. I don't think. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think you have to do all of that to get people to come, because from what I know, the word of God itself draws people. You don't need to twerk to get people to come. I get it. I understand why. It's not necessary.
Do you think dress code matters in a church?
I do think it matters.
It do matters?
I'm all for dressing down. Like, now I would probably not wear this kind of shirt, but I would dress down and wear my cargo pants and and be chill. Literally,
But
this is a
that's-
conversation I had with the pastor today.
Oh, really? Ah.
Yes, about dress down, and he's all for the dress down. And I simply just said, it doesn't have to be suit and tie every Sunday. You should try the dress down. You know what I mean? I don't know that it says this in the Bible, but I've always heard the saying, "Come as you are," right? Now, I want to put some stipulations on because I know, I've seen, and bless their hearts, I've seen some people come in their club wear, right?
That was my next question.
And it's like, okay, if that's all you got, sis, then you know what? Come on, boo.
I don't think that's all you got.
Right. I don't think so either. But I mean, I'm saying that to anybody out there. If that's all you got, then come on, boo. We gonna embrace you regardless. At least where I am, we will embrace you. I can't speak for others, but
That's true. But don't you think that takes off from church when females come into the church dressed down like that, showing a lot of skin? Now you got men not really paying attention, and then they go back
sometimes
home.
you got women and men not paying attention.
Exactly.
People can't focus.
Yeah, they can't focus no more.
Yes, no, that's the truth. Because people are distracted by
Yes.
that. So no, I get that.
Yeah. And then sometimes you get I don't want to say a lot of men, but you'll have a few men that'll go back home and encourage their other friends, like, yo, you should come to church. I'm telling you, they got a lot of women in there, they're looking so sexy. I'm telling you, it's going to be dope. I mean, the crowd might increase,
Yeah.
but for the wrong
For
reasons.
the wrong reasons. Yeah, that's a bit much. Yeah, I would say again, you want people to come.
Yeah.
And come as you
Come as you
are.
are,
Like I
yeah.
said, I just had the conversation with the pastor today, and he's so okay with everybody dressing down. He's like, yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Jeans and t-shirt. We'll have a jeans and t-shirt Sunday. Totally for that, But I do think there's some decorum that you should have, and respect for what we call the church or house of God, right?
Yeah.
I think there should be, and I think a lot of today's culture and what we see has caused a lot of people to just be like, I don't really care. It's a building just like any other building.
That's
And
true.
people don't respect it and they don't care. But part of the reason that they don't care is because of the actual quote unquote saints that belong to the church. Because it's like, well, if you're going to treat it like this, then why I got to treat it with respect? Because you don't.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's so true. So how do you feel when it comes to churches also? You have some of the pastors, they're doing so well in life. They driving nice cars. Some of them come in a helicopter. They dress the best suits, nice watches, some even nice chains. And then, of course, you got some people in the crowd don't even have breakfast to eat.
oh my goodness.
I mean, how do you feel about stuff
I
like
think
that?
some things are excess and it's not necessary. I'm not begrudging anybody. Listen, if you got the money to do it, do it. But I also say this, you should be mindful of the people you serve, and know that, they are supporting you. You know what I mean? You got to find ways to support them too. Because my thing is this, and I say this to my dad all the time. I was like, ain't nobody trying to hear you. If they sitting on the pew and their stomachs growling,
That's true. Empty stomach? Oh,
Or
my goodness.
they got holes in their shoes, they need clothing. I was like, I think God called us to more than just to preach to them about salvation and other things, right? I think as a church based in most communities, I think we should be about the community. We should be helping the community.
Yeah.
You got people in your community that's hungry and they are coming to your church and they're supporting you. They should never be hungry. You hear me?
Yeah.
Never. And the one thing I can say about the church, my father, now pastors, is there has been a way made where we give to the community.
Yeah.
We have a
seen that.
pantry,
Yeah, I've seen that.
which is such a blessing.
It is.
Oh my God, it's such a it's been a blessing to me. I've seen it be a blessing to other people where, people can come and get food if they don't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A blessing.
Yes.
So,
I know. I can testify to that one. That's so true.
yeah.
And I love your church for that. That is super dope, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful, and I mean, I've been okay. I used to go to church. That was my first church I went to when I came to America.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
she was in there, and it was when I started going over there. It was maybe like I don't know, maybe less than 10 people.
Wow.
It was very few in there.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a small crowd,
crowd.
in there. Like everybody knew everybody. So if you miss church, we all calling you like, what happened?
Where you
yeah,
at?
you good? Like,
Where you at?
Exactly. Why did you not pull up? Like, what's up?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was small, man. And we stood out because at that time we the new Africans, like fresh out of Africa in there.
Yeah.
And we were kids as well. So it's
Right.
like, who's these little kids just keep running up and down over here? So everybody knew us as well. So every Sunday they offer, we're gonna come pick you up, guys. If you don't want to walk to church, anything like that, we got vans, we got people wanna volunteer themselves to come pick us up. So we used to be in that church for a while.
Right.
Then of course we moved, so we stopped going over there. So it took us years, and then until I came back again, and then I found you guys.
Yeah.
Because at that time was them guys that were
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
came
yeah.
back, it was like, oh, the whole thing is different. I mean,
It's
the building's the
different.
same, but
Yeah.
you could tell a lot has changed in here. I'm like, different crowd. I'm like, wow, there's a new pastor now.
Yeah.
Our own color as well, because before it was a different color. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah,
No, I'm
okay.
with you. We here.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah, I like this.
I'm totally with you. Totally with you. Totally with you.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Yo, we gotta take a shot for your dad for taking over for that
Oh,
one, man.
dope.
Yeah,
That's
this is
what's
for
up.
your
To my
dad.
father.
Man. Salute.
Cheers. Yes. Salute. Like I said, Dad is
Whew.
he's thrilled to be there. My dad just loves people. And sometimes, and I'll just say this, and if he ever sees this, which he probably will,
Will you feel some type of way because we're drinking?
he might. But my dad, listen, one thing I'm gonna tell you, my dad, he may comment and say, yeah, y'all shouldn't have been doing that. But outside of that,
We'll be all
my
right.
dad recognizes we're grown.
Of course.
Ain't but so much he can say. And technically I'm not drinking because I had two and apple juice. Here we go. All right.
Doesn't matter. We grown people. It doesn't
Drinking
matter how
apple
many we
juice.
drinking. Yeah, we good, man.
And I'm just cheersing to my father. But
Salute to your dad, man.
I said all of that to say that, he's thrilled to be there. And he's the kind of person that shoots straight from the hip. And I'm not just saying this because he's my father, but he shoots straight from the hip. He's not there for show, not there for money, anything. That man really is about the people. He's about souls, period. That's his mission. That's his goal. Because he's what? Is he 71 yet? 70? Don't tell him I told you. Because he's like, don't tell people my age.
He's a young man.
He is a young man. Yes,
Yeah.
he is. But he has so much zeal and so much desire.
That is pretty strong, yeah.
to still preach and to, help people. That's been his life's work since he was 16. My father's been preaching since he was 16.
Oh my God, that's a teenager.
16. He got his first church at 19.
You know what I was doing at 16?
What's that?
I don't even know.
Exactly. Oh my God. He's been preaching since 16. And, I hear a lot of people who knew him from that time to this, and they always say he's never changed. He's the same person. He's always been. And that makes me feel good. And that is a test to why a lot of people say, like a lot of people are down on ministers today. And I understand why, because if you look at today's culture, church culture, and the things that you see online, because I know if I see him, I know everybody else sees him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Church is so different nowadays, right? And the culture of church is the exchange to me is just, it's so misleading, right?
Completely, yeah.
It's so misleading. And I feel like a lot of times people aren't getting what they really need, honestly. This is just me talking. I don't feel like people are getting what they really need. And it's literally, it feels like a money grab.
Okay. right now, this is what I notice. I pay attention, right? When it comes to the poor people, the one thing they usually spend time doing is praying to get out of poverty. They can stay all night long praying. They don't even do. Some of them don't do anything. They don't go to work. They don't do nothing
Right.
else. They just pray, probably fast.
Yeah.
But nothing really ever happens.
Yeah.
They're still in the same position. Come next year, they're still in the same exact position, right?
Exactly.
And someone else comes in, be like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, keep praying, and give us some offering. What do you have any money you have right now? Yeah, give us whatever you got, because God has spoken to me. The money you gave me is going to multiply by next week."
It's that kind of stuff that is why the world looks at church as a joke.
Yeah,
Because it's like, and not that I don't believe if you're giving your last, not that I don't believe God will supply, because he will, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. But in a lot of these cases, it's not God,
yeah,
it's man.
yeah.
And it's just like, no.
That's true.
Like, this is insanity. Like, are you crazy?
That's true.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and not like, again, for people like my father, and I think you and I both know maybe a lot of people who are on the opposite end of the that's not the crazy, right? It's like it's bad. It becomes a bad thing for them now because you got all these other people who are representing them in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Because they all do the same thing. So people think all
Oh,
pastors
Exactly.
are bad news,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And one thing I told my dad is, I'm not I'm not going to defend it. It is what it is. My father is who he is, and I'm proud of that. I tell people, I'm a proud PK, honey. I am. My dad is resilient,
You
honey.
gotta be, because your dad is cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a proud PK.
You gotta be.
I said, this is a club. I call it a club. I was like, this is a club that not a lot of people belong to. But for those of us that do belong, we know what it is. And it's hard. It's a hard life. It really is. And to those that are out here that's just making it look,
Super crazy.
yeah, I'm just like, if y'all don't shut up and sit down, sit your asses down.
I'm
That's what I want to say.
Hi. I know you told me you like traveling, right? This is my offer, man. You should definitely come to Africa. You should come travel to Africa. You been to Africa before? I don't think so.
Never been. What's funny is, if I can say this, your mom told me this year, she was like, you need to connect with my family, my children, and when they go, you need to go. So one of my goals for this year is to make a trip to Africa.
2025.
2025, baby.
We're here.
That's it.
Yeah. We usually go to Africa, me and my circle. My circle is me and my brother and a few of my cousins. That's my circle. Yeah, every year we go to Africa, except last year. Last year we didn't go because we were super, super busy last year. But this year, of course, we're in here deep. We might go maybe twice or 3 times this year.
Nice.
Twice at least, twice. 3
Right.
times we're pushing, but twice, yeah, we might do that. So yeah, you can tag along.
Yeah, she was
Africa
like,
is
you should
super cool. I'm
go.
telling you, we're lit.
So now, what part, I guess, would we be going to?
Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes.
Okay.
You see that flag over here?
I do. I see it now. I wasn't even paying attention. But yes. Oh my God. Okay. So Kenya. Okay.
Yes,
cool.
that's
I'm
on the
so
East
down.
Africa, yeah.
East Africa.
That's East
Okay.
Africa, yeah.
Okay.
We're right there.
Okay.
We're the king of the East. When it comes to
Nice.
the East, yeah, Kenya, we're the king. We rule everything over
That's
there.
it?
Man. Yeah,
Okay.
we're ruling. As soon as you say East Africa, I'm like, yeah, it's just Kenya. We
Oh
don't need
my
anybody
gosh.
else. No, I'm messing with y'all niggas.
I would love to go to Africa. So when you guys start planning, you got my number.
Yes.
Let me know so I can plan as well, because that is one of the things that I endeavor to do this year. Outside of putting out brand new music, got brand new music coming, y'all. I cannot wait. There's so many things.
Yes, of course, I also grew up in America, even if I'm not from America, but I grew up in America.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we had about the Africans and Americans, or at least the Black Americans and Africans, it was there was this gap. people always believe we can't get along. There's this hate between
Yeah,
us. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know who came up with that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, before there was no social media, anything like that. So communication was a problem.
Yeah.
So if someone says something, we probably will take that as that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it's just that person that feels like that. It's not everybody else. So
Absolutely.
that shit ended up taking over, and everybody felt like Africans and African Americans can't get
Didn't get
along.
along.
Yeah, we just
Yep.
hate each other.
Yep.
So in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna change this narrative. I'm gonna make sure Black Americans
Yeah.
get to go to Africa. You don't have to just go to Kenya. Africa is a continent. You can go to any other country
Any
in
other
Africa.
country,
But my
right.
goal is I want you guys to go over there and experience and see exactly what it is and see the love you're gonna get as soon as you get there, as soon as you land there.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hate. These people want to see you.
Right.
They miss you guys.
Right. Wow.
If you pay attention, a lot of Africans they emulate a lot of what happens in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They dress like Americans. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Some of them want to talk like Americans, and they live in Africa. They've never been to America a day in their life.
Yeah.
That's not love.
That's love.
That
Actually.
it doesn't sound like hate to me.
No, that's love. I've also been I've been privy to hearing that narrative as well, and so definitely one that I want to dispel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any type of connection I ever make, I always try to make, you know what I'm saying? Make that connection, and so that we do dispel that, like
Yeah.
there's love, like, you know, we're one of the same, right?
Yes, completely. And I want you to see how beautiful that place
do
is.
too.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
fresh air. I'm telling you, fresh food. No, in America, most of the food are not fresh. You go over there, they
Don't get me started.
yeah, they cooking that stuff for you right
Yeah.
there, and you watching it like
Yeah.
you're waiting for it.
Yeah.
Fresh food. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this place, and it's a lot cheaper.
Really?
Yes, your dollar's gonna be worth it. It's a lot cheaper as opposed over here. Over
Yeah.
here, shit is there. Your money is gonna be really doing justice for you. Like you're gonna be like, you know what? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so serious.
You're gonna be
though.
coming back all the time.
You need to make sure, like, hey, this is what we're doing. This time we're going to Africa, so I can plan.
Yeah, I'm
to
telling
go,
you,
'cause
you're gonna
I would
love it.
love to go.
Yeah, you're gonna see the people. I know someone like you wanna see the animals, you know what I mean? The elephants, the lions, all this good stuff that you see on TV. You wanna see that.
a dream come
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, you wanna see all of that stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're gonna take pictures. You know what I mean, you're gonna be probably the only one in your family telling everybody, "Yo, I've been to Africa. What's up? Look at this."
Listen, let me tell you something. If I come back and tell my dad, that man will find a way to go. He will find a way to go. Listen, let me tell you, this guy has been like, I remember him and my mom going to Jerusalem. They went over there. They were over there for like a week and a half. And you could not get him to stop talking about it.
You were so proud of it, huh?
Yes. He loves to travel. He loves to learn, obviously. He's a historian. Like, outside of pastoring, my father has been an educator for years. He just retired now a month ago. It's been a month. And anytime he's had an opportunity to travel, he goes and he learns so much. He comes back and he shares all of that with us. So, honey, let me tell you, if I go to Africa and I come back, you can best believe he's going.
You next.
He's going.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
I don't mind you tagging along and go with us.
I would love
And
to.
and,
Oh
and
my
a-
gosh.
another thing is also the reason why I say that. Obviously, we have people in Africa who are not doing well, right? And I feel like it's where I'm at in life. I feel I'm in a position where I'm supposed to be making changes. You know what I mean? Instead of pointing
Absolutely.
fingers and keep saying, what is the government doing for these people? What are the leaders doing for these people? I feel like I'm pointing fingers to myself and asking myself, what am I doing for
Yeah.
these people? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I feel like the more we can tag along and come together, and because numbers makes a difference. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
if
it
you
does.
join me and
You're
somebody
right.
else join me and somebody else join me, now
Right.
it's a lot of
We
us,
make a
not just
difference.
one. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make a difference to help this kind of people because obviously the government has let them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's certain people who gonna be watching this type of show. They're gonna be hoping for help.
Yeah.
And I want us, when we go there, we offer that help. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Instead of just coming around looking at them and be like, one day it's going to be okay. What is one day? We don't know one day. We know now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
you want to come in with that help. You want to help these people so they can live a better life. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
what it's all about.
Yes. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is I want to bring change into these people's lives. You know what I mean? Because a lot, like I told you, a lot of these folks look up to Americans. So imagine me coming over there and I'm coming with an American. It's like, you know the people you watching on TV all the time? Guess who they are? here.
Right.
This is the
Right.
true America you're watching on TV. She's right here right now.
Right here.
You don't have to watch no more. You can't even touch it. You can
They're
feel like
right
it's right here.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh yeah. That is one thing I will say as I get older. That is, it's like it's almost an innate thing. It's a desire to create change or to get involved. Where there's a scripture that says, being all spiritual, but there's a scripture that says, whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might, right? So I literally, just an innate thing, not even thinking about the scripture, but I have been probably over the last year desiring to find ways to get involved with making changes and not change. Like, obviously we can do make changes on, the lower levels, and that's good too. But I want to really affect change on a larger level.
Now you're speaking my language.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know all the ins and outs of it. And obviously, like, I believe in prayer. So I pray and I really ask God, like, guide me, like, lead me to where my tribe is.
Yeah.
So that I can really get involved and I can have hands on and really get involved in helping people.
Yeah.
And changing people's lives. Because I feel like that's why we're here. We're here to serve.
There's a purpose.
There's a purpose. Absolutely. Yeah. We're here to serve. We're here to help people.
Yes.
I believe God works through people. And so I feel like as I get older, that's what I should be doing. I don't have any kids. Not that I don't want kids, but I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I don't have a boyfriend yet. Maybe one day. I don't know.
Hey, my man out there. You hear that?
I've been kind of shying away from it.
Oh, you man out here. I know you're watching. I know you're looking hard.
I've been a busy woman. I really have. I've had a lot going on. So it's sometimes difficult to date or whatnot. So, but my focus has just really been like outside of doing the things that I love to do, my purpose, right? Which is, again, serving. I want to serve. In whatever capacity I can serve, but I really want to affect change. So any way I can do that, I'm
trust
open.
me, the movement I'm trying to do. Oh my God, if you say it, because I'm still planning it right now. I've not done anything. It's still in my mind because of course it starts from your mind, then it becomes real.
Yeah.
What I'm planning in my mind. That's what I'm saying. I know you're gonna join us, and then we're gonna do that trip.
Yeah.
I want you to see, because once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh. Now it makes so much sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are struggling. There's people right now as we speak. I mean, we got all these drinks on the table. There's someone sleeping with no food. It's not fair to that person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the problem right now, I don't know who that person is, but I know that person's probably somewhere sleeping, crying to God and praying to God. So I always say that person who's praying to God right now, I am their answer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that.
You know what I mean?
Totally get that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I'm going to get to them. I don't know who they are exactly, but my God will lead me to them. So we will meet them as time goes.
Yep.
Then when the time is right, we're going to meet them.
Yeah.
And we're going to answer their prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have, oh my God. Yeah, I love helping people. And like you just said, I want to do it on a bigger scale.
On a bigger scale,
I'm tired of these small scales. Like, you go down the street, you meet homeless people, you buy them food, you try to help them a little bit. I've done it already.
Yeah,
I
me
feel
too.
like that's enough of that.
Yeah.
There's levels to this. I'm on the next level now.
Levels to this. No. Yeah, like, I mean, and my father always says this thing, despise not the day of small things, right? So I don't despise doing the small things, serving people and helping them. But I want to impact people on a larger scale. Like, my heart really goes out to all of the people in Altadena in LA.
Oh, yeah.
That have
with the fire thing.
Yeah, that have lost their homes.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I wish.
I saw another one today. Not
Jesus.
to cut you off. I saw another one today of I think it was Bronx. That also caught on fire. I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah. I was
like the Bronx, New York?
the Bronx, New York.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
They caught on fire. So I was like, what is going on right now? It's like the world is ending. Like,
Right.
New York? and Cali at the same
and
time.
Cali at the same time. So crazy,
No,
right?
it threw me off. Yo, but the whole California, yeah, that was crazy. Me, like, it's like the whole state just burned down. I was like,
I have been in tears just watching. What has happened to them.
it's so crazy because it's like right before you came in, I was having that conversation with my cousin. I was asking him, now imagine someone who's really broke. I mean, you live in paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yeah.
And then now you came home, everything's burnt down.
Everything's
You
gone.
don't have any savings, anything. Everything you have in your house is gone. Like, okay, and then you've been told to move. Where you going? What's your next move? Where you going?
You don't know. And that's why I was in tears, because I'm just like, God, like,
It's super painful.
is
I mean, there's a lot of rich folks. I mean, for them, it sucks, but they're all right because they got the bag. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
I'm talking about these poor people. Like, you still waiting for your paychecks. Like, what? Where do I go now? My job is gone. My house is gone.
Yeah.
Everything is gone. Like, now what?
Yeah.
And even that paycheck you're waiting for is not even coming no more because the job is burnt down.
Well, so yeah, I've read that where the town Altadena was, it just doesn't exist anymore, because not only homes but businesses
Yeah, I saw it.
have burned down completely. And
Yep.
so
Yep.
my heart, my heart just hurts for them, and it's things like that where I'm just like, what can I do? Like, God, what can I do? Can I get on a plane and go out there? I mean, even if I did, like, what can I do for them?
I think right now the best you can do is just pray for them.
Just pray for them,
It's
yeah,
just pray
and
for
that's
them.
what I've been
Yeah,
doing.
because as far as we know, I mean, I don't know how many lives are being lost so far.
Yeah.
That part I'm not sure about. But the houses, the jobs, like you said, the business, those are all gone. It's just flat land right now, ashes. It's all. There's nothing you can do in here.
Here's the other thing I'll say. Do not, I repeat, sell your land or give up on your land. Keep your land and you can rebuild. It may take time, but that's the other thing I started thinking about. I was just like, I pray that this is not something that was done intentionally. I hope and pray that it wasn't. I don't know that is the truth, because I did hear that there were people setting fires. Like, that's the newest thing that's come out, that they did get some perpetrators that were actually setting fires, right? So my prayer is that hopefully that's not the case in all of the situations. But even if it is, if it happened to your land, don't just abandon it. Keep your land, rebuild, because there are people that probably want that land. Because remember, I was saying earlier on, this is off camera, but we were talking, and if you know the story about what it took for Black people to even live in that area, years before we even existed, there's a story there.
Yeah, of course.
And so, I hope and pray that even though right now it seems hopeless, right?
Yeah.
My wish and my prayer is that I want to just speak encouragement to anybody who is going through that right now, and know that, what it is now won't always be, right?
Yeah.
And that,
it's gonna pass.
it will pass. This too shall pass, as they say, and there'll be another day.
Yeah.
And you will survive this. You'll get through it. And, my hope and prayer is that we'll be able to send people over there to build.
That is so true. You see, the only problem, I mean, I like what you're saying. Do not sell your land. But the only biggest challenge comes in because at that time you're going to be so low, and someone offers you that check, it's only going to look so right to you. It's going to look like it makes sense. Like, I need this right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And most people will take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we have nothing.
Yeah.
Most people will take it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my hope is that they won't sell the land, but they will be steadfast and rebuild on that land, because there could be powers that be that actually want that land, and
oh yeah, they do.
it could be why some of this occurred. You understand?
I believe.
I hope not, but
I believe that's part of the reason that happened. They want to rebuild that thing.
Yeah.
So if you own the land, they'll come buy you out, or probably some of these people even died in the process. You know what I mean? So they're not there. They're never gonna sell nothing. the land is free now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, so I believe so. Like maybe in the next 5 years, someone will come in and rebuild the whole thing, and it's gonna be a whole new California in there.
It just makes me tear up because I'm just like, oh my gosh. I watched a couple of not YouTube, but Instagram clips where just the guy who was 80, I think his name was Walt. He was 81 years old, and he was saying every single thing he worked for
It's
is
gone.
now gone
Yeah,
because he was a resident and his house burned down and everything that was there obviously is gone now.
It's
And
gone.
so,
yeah.
and I pray for him because obviously he's well known in the community, and he's one that would help others who didn't have. And so my prayer was, God, restore to him everything he's lost,
Get it
you
back.
know, and, the same for others. But again, all of that to say, it's situations like this where I'm just like, what I would give to be able to give back and to help. And, obviously praying just doesn't seem like it's enough,
I know it doesn't seem, but it is.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy. Like you just mentioned, like that person in particular. The good thing, he did not lose his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything else, he can get it back.
Yeah.
We're gonna pray. We're gonna make things happen.
Yeah.
We will be fine.
Yeah.
But your life, if you're gone, you're gone.
You're
You know what I
gone,
mean?
yeah,
There's
you
no
can't get
praying
that
back
back.
and then you come back to life.
Absolutely.
you're gone. You're gone.
Absolutely.
So as long as he's alive, there's still hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do not give up. Like still a brother tomorrow. Today's a dull day, but tomorrow is gonna be a better day. We're gonna smile tomorrow. We're gonna cry today, but tomorrow we're gonna smile.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, do not give up, man.
That's right.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you came through.
Yes. I love this. Listen, I'm so glad I came through. And thank you for the opportunity. Oh my gosh. I didn't know what is it?
Chafuwa
Chafuwa
Meza.
Meza. Okay.
Yes.
I never knew what that meant. And you said that is Swahili?
Yes, Swahili. Yes,
Wow.
that is completely Swahili.
I know.
Yes.
I know a little bit of Swahili now.
Yes,
I remember a song when I was a kid.
in Swahili.
Yes.
Where? Which song is that?
And I think I learned it at it used to come on the radio, but I learned it at a church convention.
A whole song or just like a verse?
It was a song.
A whole song. Whoa.
It was something to the effect of I can't remember. All I remember is Siku Mungu.
Sifu Mungu.
Sifu Mungu.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
Yeah, that means praise God. Yeah.
Exactly. See, I remember. Oh my gosh. I remember that was part of the song. And I just remember, I was like, oh my God, childhood memories.
Cool.
I
that's
remember
good.
that. Sifu Mungu is
Yes,
how you say it, right?
exactly. Yeah. That means praise God. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that song. And I remember, it's so funny because most of my childhood, when I remember things, it's because of music.
Oh man.
That's how connected.
You know, I went
that's
to
how
a
connected
boarding.
I am.
I went to a boarding school, so there was
Did
no
you?
music.
Oh,
there was no
wow.
music. There was no TV. There was nothing. It
Right.
was just you making friends with your other students.
Yeah.
That's it. There was nothing like that. So
Yeah.
you only watch TV and listen to music when you go back home.
Wow.
And then when you go back home, you wanna play also with your other friends from your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I was like always just making moves.
Yeah. My childhood, I remember. So my mom and dad used to play records. They played a lot of records, Christian records, obviously, gospel. So that is largely what I remember. I think I tell people all the time, my first words were me singing.
Oh.
I could sing, but I couldn't speak.
Is there anybody else who can
talk.
sing in your family?
Let's see. I have a second oldest brother who is actually a crooner if he would sing. But he won't sing. But what he won't do or what he stopped doing, because he was a drummer first. And then obviously we found out he could sing. He sang really well. My oldest brother was a singer. My youngest brother, no shade, D. He's not a singer.
Well, he be trying.
He's not a singer. He's talented as heck, but he is not a singer.
Yeah, sorry, bro, man.
He tries hard, but he's not a singer. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I almost feel like the talent missed a generation and then kind of fell on our generation.
Okay.
I have cousins who are really, really good singers, guys. female singers, some of my cousins or whatever. So I think it runs in my family, just music. It's just in our blood.
Okay.
But I am the only one that I know of that has pursued it professionally.
Professionally.
Yeah.
And you're doing it for real.
Yeah,
real.
doing it for real, for real.
Whoa.
I'm the only one that I know of. If there are other cousins out there that are doing it, I don't know. But as far as my immediate family, though, I'm the only one. Like, all of my brothers played instruments. They all sang for the most part. Nobody's doing it, though. Their kids have picked up the mantle, though.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. I have a nephew and 2 nieces. My niece is like a baby. She's a singer, she's a guitarist, India Ari.
Oh, she's good. She's good. I like her.
So I kind of relate my niece to her. She doesn't play guitar. My niece doesn't play guitar that I know of. My nephew does. Now, he's an instrumentalist. He plays drums, bass, and guitar. Self-taught. He's amazing. But my nieces, they sing. And one of them sounds like an India Ari. She's phenomenal. I'm just like, oh my God. So any way that I can help train them or, prepare them, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. In my family, when it comes to music talent, I do not know if anybody can rap, sing, anything like
Really?
that. I do not know anybody.
Not your parents either?
Oh my God,
Oh
no,
my gosh,
not
no?
even them. No, or not even on music at all. I think I'm more in music more than them. I was playing music over here. They're like, what is that? You keep playing over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. No, they.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, I have nieces. I have a nephew right now who play basketball. Actually, about 2 nephews who play basketball. That's as much as a talent I can recall. There's no major talent when it comes to. Nah, I don't like that, man. I think
Oh,
it's
my
skipped
goodness.
us. I mean, maybe our kids now might be able to do that, but our generation, nah, man. We were just basic, man. Like, but then I go up, coming up. Like for me, I believe I used to run. Kenyans are known for running anyway, so I used to run. So I believe that was my talent, but nobody saw it because they never knew about it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So if
that
they
makes
kept
sense.
pushing me, because at that time, at that age, you don't know what talent is. Like,
Right.
But people could see, yo, this guy can run. You should do something with that.
Yeah.
But they never saw it.
Wow.
It never clicked. So when I came to America, that's when I realized, I noticed, like, yo, so running is a talent.
It is.
Fuck, what we doing?
All right. What are we doing? Right.
Because African culture, they only believe in books.
I understand that.
Go to school, you got to be a doctor, lawyer, pilot, all this good stuff. Anything extra besides that is like, what are you talking about? Get the education, then bring all that nonsense you're telling us, because that's nonsense to them.
What's funny is our cultures are the same.
We Africans.
Absolute same.
Is it? We Africans.
Although it seems like a lot of African Americans have become like big artists and, rappers and singers and whatever, producer, whatever. Largely, the African American culture in the United States has been go to school, get education, become a doctor, lawyer, teacher, social worker, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's been the culture.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Things changed.
things have changed
Things have changed.
over time, and so
Yeah.
I still, though, because I'm an educator as well. So I'm a music educator, but I'm also a technology educator, and so my master's degree is in educational technology with a focus in instructional design and online teaching. Right. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My father's an educator as well, so he's been, teaching.
Like father, like daughter. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Education, that's been our thing. So, but largely that's been the thing. His parents told him, go to school, get education. He did the same thing to me and my brothers, go to school, get education.
Yeah.
And that's what we all, have aspired to do or tried to do or whatever. So it's, again, it's our culture, right?
Yeah,
It's what
yeah.
we've been told or taught to do. And some of us have done it. Some of us have not. You know?
That is so true. But the only thing I do like with the new generation, which is could be true. I know the older generation might not agree with me, but it is what it is. Sometimes the plate is bigger than just education. You know what I mean? Because to
agree.
me, I feel like the goal in life is succeed. You know what I mean?
agree.
If you can play sports and succeed, you're still a winner.
Yeah.
A double is a double.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you can't tell me he's making a lot of money succeeding on this side, but he never went to school, so he's a loser.
Yeah. No, I don't see that either.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
Exactly.
A win is a win.
A win is a win.
There's so many ways to win.
Yeah.
Who said there's only one way to win? It's
Absolutely.
like if you walk into this room and you just look at that corner only. There's more corners.
Yeah.
But you're just staring at one corner. Like, and then you're telling me this is the only way to win. I'm like, what about these other corners? Like, we got more.
Exactly. There's so many
there's
other corners.
Yeah. What are you
Yes.
talking about?
No, I'm with that too.
Yeah, there's more ways to win. Like, it's just not just the only way.
More than one way to win. No, that's true.
Yeah, so I agree with the new generation. If someone say when I play sports, when I do some other things, when I make music, then go ahead and do that because a win is a win. The point is that the goal is to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am a proponent of what I've come to understand is that with the younger generation, and I know now, so if I should ever have a child, if you see that a person express interest in a certain area,
Oh, yeah.
whatever that area is,
Oh, yeah.
nurture that. Because 9 times out of 10, that is a part of their purpose and where they will shine.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
I've learned that. And, my mother and father, we have conversations all the time where they say, we try to support you as best we could in that area. But there's so much more, they always say, we could have done, but we didn't know. And I said so, and it's fine. They did what they could with what they had and what they knew. And I said, so if I have a child, and now that I have nieces and nephews, because I have the knowledge and the know-how, I'm now passing it on
to them. Yes.
because they've expressed interest. They went as far to get their own training and do their own things. So anything I can add to that to help them succeed and excel, that's what I'm going to do.
Do that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Now, the only difference is there's parents who send their kids to boarding school.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll notice anything about your child if your child is always gone.
Yeah.
Your teachers may notice that, but at the same
With the
time,
parent,
it doesn't matter.
doesn't notice.
Yeah, their parents will miss that because the kids they're always gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they give you freedom. Now you get to do whatever you want to do because the kids are gone.
Yeah.
So this whole process or chapter in their life, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's true. True.
It's life. You know what I'm gonna say.
Life.
Speaking of life, let's drink to life. Life,
Lord.
life is good.
Another one.
Yes, it's my birthday too. I told you. This is for the weekend.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Salute.
Salute.
Oh,
Alrighty.
we.
Yeah. That's wow.
That's good right there.
There it
That's
is.
the Don Julio.
I favor this apple juice, so I'm gonna grab some more of this.
Go ahead. Drink the whole bottle if you need to.
I love the apple juice. It's so good.
The drinks are here for the guest, so yeah, drink the whole thing. I mean, there's no limit to that.
No limit. Okay.
There's no limit to that.
No limit. There we are.
Yeah, drink the whole thing.
Okay.
Anything you want to tell the people that we probably have not touched on?
Just to tell them to check my music out. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon. I'm everywhere. Like you can find my music everywhere. I say this in not making this interview about them or anything, but thank God for the foreign exchange. They gave me an opportunity.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fonte and I met in college. We started school in 1997. I think I met him maybe 1998. I might have met him in 97 because I think there was a talent show, but I'm not sure what year there was. I don't know if it was 97 or 98. I don't know. Anyway, we met in college. That's how I know him. That's how I know Ninth Wonder. That's how I know Pooh, who all make up Little Brother. And so met them in school. Years later, we would kind of see each other in passing. My cousin worked with him. One of my former best friends worked with him a lot. So, it was like I was always adjacent to them. And then 2014, I was tapped to go on tour with them. And the rest is history.
You went on tour as well. Okay, so since you made so much music, have you done tours? I mean, apart from the one you just mentioned right now,
Yeah.
on your own? Mm-hmm. Really?
Well, not my own, but with other bands, with other, artists and that kind of thing. So yeah, never one of my own. This year, I hope to do something of that magnitude.
Is the money good on the road? Oh yeah. You are? So I'm tripping over here.
No, and it depends.
Where's the drums?
It depends on who you're working with too. I've heard some background supporting vocalist. I hate to say background, but so the supporting vocalist, who are working for other artists. Excuse me. I've heard good stories. I've heard bad stories where some are making really good money. Some aren't making as much good money.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But it just depends on the situation. I look at it as, and this is how I looked at it. Because when I so I'm just going to say this, and people, y'all can say whatever you want. You can say, oh, she's too spiritual, she's too whatever. I'll be that. When I went on tour, I still had a full-time job.
Really?
My job let me go on tour we started June of 2014, and we went through, I think, the beginning of November. So I would go out for a couple of weeks.
It's almost 6 months.
I would go out for a couple of weeks and come back. I think there was one stint we were out for 2.5 weeks or something like that. Just gone. When I approached my boss about it at the time and told her, I explained to her, I was like, I'm so afraid. I was afraid to tell you. And she was like, girl, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And she told me, she said, go to my office and let's talk about it. I went to her office and I told her, I got this opportunity. And I said, I get to go on the road with the foreign exchange. And as soon as I get the, itinerary of all the dates, I'll give it to you. And she looked at me and said, and I'm paraphrasing here, if it was a hobby, I might would say no.
Yeah.
She said, but because I know this is more than a hobby for you, and you have a gift,
go ahead.
I'm not going to say no. And she didn't. And she said, let me talk to our CIO, which was a white lady. She wasn't one of us. She said, let me talk to her and let me see if I can work something out. And so whatever conversation they had, I wasn't privy to that. But they had the conversation, and she came back to me and she said, go, put it on the calendar, and we'll see when you get back. And she gave me, certain stipulations as far as the job, take the computer with you. There may be some things we might need you to do while you're on the road. But she said, otherwise, go. Mm-hmm. And she told me later, she said, I would have felt horrible if I denied you the opportunity to have this chance of a lifetime. These kind of offers don't come often. And when they come, we got to be able to recognize what they are. And that's why I say it was a divine moment. I had been battling something a couple of years before, which had to do with forgiveness. And I found it hard to forgive somebody who had done something so egregious and just right down disrespectful and just wrong toward me, right? And I found it really, really hard to forgive. And I would pray and God, help me forgive these people. Help me forgive them for what they did to me. And I just couldn't find it in my heart to forgive. And what I learned in that process is forgiveness is a process. And it does take time. But it's ultimately a decision you have to make for you. You can't make it for anybody else. You can't make it for the person. You got to make it for you.
Your own peace.
Your own peace. And so it's almost as if once I forgave them, God was like, I forgive you. And it was just like, here you go.
Just let it go.
We're going to open up the world for you.
Yeah.
And literally, that's what happened. I got the call from Vontae, and I think they left, went to South Africa. They performed over there. I don't know how long they were over there, but they were over there. And he said, as soon as we're back from Africa, we start the tour. So we'll see you. June 12th, 2014. I started out, I think our first show was in Charlotte. I started out on tour at the Foreign Exchange. And it's like it's just been like family ever since. Wow. That time. And it's been wonderful. It really has. And regardless to whom or what, or whether I ever do anything else with them, my name and face is cemented with them because I'm on the cover of one of the records.
Oh, you are?
I am. The name of the record is called Tales from the Land of Milk and Honey.
Okay.
So I'm on the front of the cover of that record, which was something I always say, and I don't know if they think about it like this, but I think it was monumental because if you've ever followed the Foreign Exchange and followed their history from when they began to now, they've never put themselves on a record.
Never.
You never saw who they were until that record.
Until that record.
Because, I mean, you saw who they were if you saw them in shows and that kind of stuff like that, or in videos or something like that. But on an actual album cover, you never saw them. And on that particular record cover, I think it's Nicolay first, then there's Carmen Rogers. So Nicolay Rook, Carmen Rogers, then there's Zoe. We call him Zoe. Obviously, that's his name. And then there's Fonte, and then I'm next. And so it's the five of us on that cover of that record. And what's so cool, they sent me a copy of the record, so I would have my own copy.
Yo.
Yeah. And
that is dope.
I cherish that. Although, like, I'm not doing music with them right now. They just released a ton of music. Y'all go check the music out. Some of my favorite artists, like a Carlita Duran. There's a Darian Brockington. There is Be My Fiasco, who's kind of new to the FE family, the Foreign Exchange family. And so there's Cy Smith. They produced a record for her this past year that is so amazing. I hope and pray that at some point this chick can be nominated for a Grammy.
So the music is that good.
Oh, it's so good. Wow. It's so good. And the reason I'm like name dropping is because I want people to go check these artists out because they are phenomenal. And I consider them all friends and acquaintances and what I call mentors. I see them all as mentors because I think I'm probably the novice when it comes to doing this out of all of them because they've been doing it so much longer than I have. Actually, that's probably not true. I've been doing music since I was young. And I started on the gospel side first.
Obviously, most people start from gospel.
I started on the gospel side first. I recorded my first single that actually became number one on radio. I don't remember. Radio? Number one. It was number one. So we have K97.5 here in the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area.
That song was on that radio station?
Yes.
I used to listen to that radio station.
Yes. They used to play.
So I probably heard you.
They used to play that song. It wasn't written by me. It was written by a guy named Roland Perry. I was a part of his gospel ensemble, which was called the Power of Worship Ensemble. And there are some people out here who remember. It's so crazy. I can be going places in Durham, whether it's church or I'm out in the mall or something, and somebody remembers me from the time that I recorded that song.
That's dope, man.
To now. And they're like, oh my God, it's Tamisha Waden. You sang that song, Power in the Praise. And I'm like, you remember that? I was like 14 years old when I recorded that song.
You should be signing autographs, man.
Oh my God. Sometimes people will ask. But that is what I mean when I say God has really had his hand on me. Because, I mean, the Foreign Exchange, going on the road with them, people have their preconceived ideas and notions about what happens on the road. It was all family. It was like a big family.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And so I love them. I love the time. I cherish the time that I had with them and spent with them. It's become now that I'm kind of out here on my own and I'm doing my own thing, and it feels really good. It feels so good. And then, occasionally I will speak with each of them in passing or whatever, Fonte, Nicolay, whether it's or Zoe or Carmen or whatever, whether it's a happy birthday or whatever online or whatever we exchange,
Do they still make music?
of course, they're all still making music. And that's why I said, go check them out. They're wonderful. Aside from being amazing artists, they're wonderful people. And that's why I'm talking about them, because I'm like, go check them out. They're awesome. But I love the fact that with them, I've been able to also carve out my own artistry and be my own, and people support me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And in ways, they've been able to, support me. And they still say, Fonte has still said to me, whatever you need, we your family. Just ask.
Yeah.
We got your back.
We got you.
Yeah. So that is encouraging to me, and it makes me feel good. And, obviously when the time comes, and it's time, which it will be real soon, I'm going to be putting out brand new music. And so I want, everybody to get excited. The name, I'm going to drop the name here of the record, is called Where I'm Supposed to Be. And the title represents the fact that I have been everywhere and nowhere all at the same time.
Everywhere and nowhere.
Everywhere and nowhere.
Have you traveled the whole of America?
Not the entire, well, almost.
Almost.
How
many states do you think you have done so far?
Cities?
Oh, no, states.
Oh, gosh. Quite a few. Midwest, not so much. Okay, I take that back. Well, no. Yeah, Midwest, not so much. But all of the other places, East Coast, West Coast, Deep South.
Obviously. Back home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even some places overseas, I didn't do that with the foreign exchange. Some of those were on my own. But yeah, I've traveled extensively. And music has been the catalyst to take me those places. And so I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to them, because they could have not thought of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They give you an opportunity.
But I feel like it was a divine, me and Nicolay on that tour in 2014, I was talking about it. And I told him I felt it was a divine moment. And he agreed with me at the time. He said, I really do feel like that's the truth. I feel like it's a divine moment. Like you were meant to be here at this time, this place. You know what I'm saying? With us.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it was a divine thing that God would place me with them. Because if you know anything about the industry, and I can't speak to any other artists, I've not worked with them, so I don't know what that's like. But in all the places I've ever been, case in point, I went to Nashville. I think this was...
Woo, down south. What up, Nashville?
Nashville.
What's goody?
This was 2019.
Oh, that's not too long ago. Right before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Yeah.
2019. I have a friend named Phil Cook. Shout out to him.
Phil Cook?
Phil Cook.
So he cooks?
No. He's a singer, pianist, guitarist.
Okay.
He's phenomenal. Oh, gosh. I met him because I was called by a guitarist named Chris Berner to do backgrounds for his record. He needed some robust, somewhat vocal, somebody who could, really sing some parts. And so I got called for that record, and I went. That was my first time ever meeting him. And there was another young lady named Jean Jolly. And we all met that night for the first time in the studio. And what's so cool is we were testing the mics. And we started singing parts for one of the songs we were going to sing. And after we sang it, it was just like, we stopped and we paused and we looked at each other and was like, I love your voice. It was such a cool moment. It was such a cool moment But we literally were like, oh my God, I love your voice.
Yeah.
And what we found was our voices loved each other. And obviously we would go on to record that record. And then from that record, I would record all of these other records with other people because of the connections
Yeah.
that were made. And so
Yeah.
y'all better ask about me. Just saying. I'm on some records out there. You hear me?
I didn't even know. I'm over here with a celeb, bro. Like after this, you send him my autograph.
Oh
for
my
real.
gosh.
I need something.
I'm on some records. I am on a lot of records out there. And again, it's just I think a testament to some people call it the universe. Obviously, I don't believe that it's the universe. I believe that it's God. When you kind of yield and you just kind of let him lead,
Take control there. Uh-huh.
he will set you up. He'll
That's
put
true.
you,
That's
he'll
true.
put you where you need to be.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how I go about it now. I don't really try to make things happen. There are things I want to do. Like I have a lot coming up. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll come back and share all
You
that
have
with
to.
you.
Yeah, you gotta come off. What do you mean? This is home for you now.
Oh, see, look at that.
Yeah.
I'll come back and I'll share it all with you. But
100%.
there's new music coming. There are new videos coming.
Oh.
Phew,
Yeah, you
lots
can
and
actually you
lots
can
of
come
things.
premiere those music over here.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're welcome.
absolutely okay.
Yeah,
But
you can
there's
promote them over here. Yeah.
absolutely, there's so much coming. This past year, one of my songs was in a movie written by the great Terry McMillan. You could have never in a million years told me my song would be in a movie on Lifetime that the world gets to watch and see. Do you understand how big that is?
Mula, baby. She making that money.
I mean, I'm
Money.
just like, oh my gosh. I can't speak to all the money. Obviously, it's a blessing, right?
Yes.
But the opportunity to do something that big, amazing.
Super great. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other piece to this is this year I became a member of the Grammy Recording Academy.
Oh, hallelujah.
And the way that happened is it blows my mind to this day. Because the young lady that is the catalyst for it all happening, we've never met in person.
Never.
Never met.
Really?
I've never met her.
Wow.
We only know each other through social media. We have a mutual friend here in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And the mutual friend and her have worked together. But I've never met her. Not once. And we've only talked via social media. We exchanged numbers. We've talked over the phone a few times. And we reach out to each other just to check on each other.
Yeah.
And get this. She's Filipino.
She's Filipino?
Yes. You would have never in a million years told me that she would be the catalyst for me becoming a member of the Recording Academy, which is the Grammys, right? And so because of her, I have the opportunity to be a voting member, which I voted in this last round of, Grammys. So the
Jeez.
upcoming Grammys, my hand is on that. I
touched
voted
it,
for the
yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I voted for the artists that are going to be obviously winning the Grammys and that kind of thing. All of the artists that are going to be, you're going to see nominated or, whatnot. My hand is on that.
So if we see somebody winning who's not supposed to be winning, we pointing fingers at you.
Not necessarily. But I had a hand in voting this year for artists. And,
No, last year.
well, I voted last year, but there was
gonna
also
be-
this year because we just finished a round of voting.
Oh.
This was the second round of voting
Okay.
for Grammys. And so I didn't post anything on social media that I voted, but I did vote because I believe that's, I believe that it's important that artists like myself, as independent artists, we have a voice too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, but it's because of her. And she lives in California. And we've never met.
Never met before. Not even one day.
Not even one day. And what's crucial about it is again, like I said, I would think it would have come from someone else who knows me well, who I'm in contact with, but it came from somebody I haven't even met in person. But that speaks to, again, wherever God wants you,
You'll get there.
He'll make sure you get there.
Yeah, you get there. I believe that. I believe your testimony because my journey is kind of like that. Because even right now, me doing or at least having this kind of platform, the people that in my mind when I started the platform, I thought that would be the one supporting me.
But it's others, right?
Others,
You see what I'm
they
saying?
have
Oh my
zero
gosh.
clue I am.
Yes.
I have zero clue they are, but they're heavily supporting
Support
me.
it.
Yes.
Exactly.
And the ones who know me, they're like,
Whoa.
we know him.
Exactly. It's the ones that know you are most likely to not support
Nah, they're not
because they
supporting
know
me.
you.
Yeah,
There's
they
that
know me.
familiarity.
It's like, it's him.
It's familiarity. That's what it is. Familiarity breeds contempt, right? So they know
Facts.
you. It's like, it's Lemmy,
Yep.
or
It's
it's
like,
Tamisha,
nothing.
you know. But it's the ones that you don't expect
So,
are the
exactly.
ones that support you.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
100%. Oh, salute to that. Yo.
Yeah.
What? So this is another thing I wanted to ask you, right? Because you do make music. And I mean, some of my Kenyan people, forgive me for saying this, it might sound kind of rude or probably harsh to you guys, but I feel like it's the truth. I feel like our music outside of Kenya is kind of struggling. So I think if some of those artists collaborate with someone like you, maybe we might have a chance at least to be exposed outside of
No, that's real.
our comfort zone.
That's absolutely the truth, and it's real. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if you are open, maybe I can find some of the artists who are willing to
Heck yeah.
make a future with you and make something happen. You know what I mean?
I'm all for it.
Because some of these artists, they have good music, but I don't know, maybe it's not good exposure. The music is not being pushed out there with their label.
Exposure's
I don't know,
everything.
whatever the case might be, but the music is not just out there as it's supposed to be. But the music is good though.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking like, what can we do? Or at least what can I help?
It is, I found, all about the exposure and making sure that whenever you have to strategically plan, when you're getting ready to release music, you got to make sure that you have really planned for. I ran across something today about blogs, making sure that not only radio distribution, but what is it? You have to have distribution. That's one thing, but there's radio. Radio costs money.
Obviously.
You gotta have it.
Do you think we need radio right now? At this time?
Still at this juncture,
Really? When you have platforms like this?
Radio One controls everything.
But who's listening to radio?
Everything radio.
But who's listening to radio?
People are still listening to radio.
Who? Let's say for example, like me right now, I can't even tell you the last time I
You
listened
listened?
to radio. Yeah, I really don't know, man.
It's still a big proponent when it comes to
Really?
Yes, it is still big. I mean, you've got to get. Obviously, the social media age is what's in full effect right now.
Yes.
So that is how you really are building your platform.
Yes.
Right? And that you're gaining followers. But outside of that, radio is still big.
But what's the crowd? What's the age limit that listens to the radio? Because okay,
can't really
through assumption
say.
right now, I might think it's the older generations
It
that
is.
listen to the radio.
I would agree with you, but it's still big. Radio is still big, and you need radio, and that cost. It costs a lot. As an independent artist, these are things I've researched, and you got to know that this new music that I'm planning on putting out, I am not leaving any stone unturned because I'm doing it by myself. I'm not doing it with, like, the Foreign Exchange. They're a label and they have artists under them. I'm not one of those artists. And that's fine. Those are my folks. I love them to pieces. I'm cool with doing it on my own. But even in doing it on my own, I had to do my research and find out who I got to target, because there are some, who will just put it out and it's like it goes into a void. which means, only a few people hear it. I want everybody to hear this. So I had to do my research and figure out radio is still big.
That's
You
actually
got to pay for radio.
that is shocking to me because I thought the reason why we have even platforms like this is we're moving away from radio going to
In
digital.
some ways,
You know what I
yes.
mean? So most people listen to digital as opposed to radio. I stepped
They
away from
do.
radio years ago.
They
and right
do.
now I don't even know what happens in radio. Who even is in charge of the radio? I have zero clue.
Radio One still owns all things radio. I can't remember the lady's name. It's a black lady though. She owns it.
I remember before when labels used to be popping, like people, if you want to do music, you have to be signed.
Yeah.
Labels used to control that. They used to get your music into the radio. They pay the DJs whatever they have to do. All the
Some of that is
politics.
still happening.
But people, not a lot of folks, but some folks are going independent, so they have no labels. So now it's just someone like you right now. I don't know how you get your music to the radio because now the politics comes in.
Well, there are ways to still do that. I will say this. I'm fortunate to know so many people. And I think sometimes I even underestimate how many people I know. But I've been fortunate enough to build a network from here to probably Cali of people that I know to be able to do what I want to do, right? And I think ultimately, somebody said this to me a couple of weeks ago. We've been waiting on you.
Where you been at?
Right. And so their words to me was like, all we've been waiting for is the record.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you to finish the record. Once you finish the record, sis, we got you.
Okay.
So, like I always stress this to any not just artists, but anybody who's endeavoring to do music. If you're endeavoring to do it at a level of an artist, networking is going to be your best friend.
Oh yes.
Because it's not about, it is about the music, but it's about who you know.
Yes, true.
A lot of times, where you can get things placed. It's about who you know.
I think that's in everything right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to the industry, it's
It's
not
about
what
who
you
you
know.
know.
It's who you know.
It's who you know.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's just the industry.
It is
That's
who you know.
That's exactly how it works. You're right about that.
It is definitely who you know. And so I don't know. I keep saying this. And a lot of people say, well, like, girl, you gonna put music out. What you doing? Where you at? We ain't seen nothing from you. What you at? And I'm just like, y'all, it's coming. It is coming. It is coming. I'm very methodical. I'm very strategic about how I do things. And then, of course, life has been lifing. I'll tell this. I had surgery a week ago.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that. Yeah.
And that had me, kind of out of commission for a while. And still somewhat out of commission because I can't lift anything. I can't really push or pull because obviously this is where I had the surgery. And so they had to do real surgery. Like they had to cut me. So it's real, you know what I'm saying? And so I've had to really kind of just sit down.
Relax.
Can't really do anything. Not even thinking, which is like.
But sometimes God works when you sit still.
Yeah.
When you sit still, that's when He takes full control of you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is so true.
And then things start happening.
Yep.
A lot of folks, that's why you see some people don't get their blessings because they're always moving.
They're always moving.
Like, yo, relax right here. Just pray for a second.
Sit down,
I gotta do A, B, C, D.
be
I'm like,
still.
I'm like, nah.
Yeah, that's it. Sit down, be still, be quiet, and let him work.
Yes.
And so that's what I literally have been doing since probably mid-November. Just sitting, chilling. Like I planned this past year what I wanted to do. So some of those things are already in motion. Obviously the parts that I play aren't, but some of those things are already in motion with my team, right? That I have working on things. And so, once I'm released over the next few weeks, then I can move in gear and get ready to work and do the things that I need to do.
Yes.
That sort of thing. And so, and again, I echo the title of the record, right where I'm supposed to be. I am right where I'm supposed to be.
Everything happened for a reason.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And some people are like, oh, that's so whatever. And I'm like, as much as it is like just the title, it's spiritual in some ways. Because, if you listen to people, people will have you here, there, and everywhere.
Trust me, I know about that.
But I pride myself in having a tribe or a base that keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
Just say, hey,
Relax.
relax. That ain't it.
Yeah.
This is where you need to focus.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. This is where you need to be.
Exactly.
Focus.
Chill.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They keep me grounded. And because of that, that has made me understand, because there was a time where I tell this story. I've told this in a couple of interviews, but when I was on the road, I was traveling with the foreign exchange and Black Pumas. And
Oh, the Pumas. Oh, my God. You're going back.
you know about the Black Pumas?
Oh, yes.
Get out of here. I
You're
toured
going
with them for a
back.
little bit.
Word.
Yeah, I toured with them for a little bit.
Okay. Look at
There was a
you.
band I was playing with, Shakedown. I flew to New York, top of 2020, right before the pandemic exploded, and recorded a record with an artist. I was doing so much. So much to the point that my body began to shut down on me. And even when it began to shut down, I still kept going. It was like, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
It was the grind that was keeping me going. And I was just everywhere and doing everything. And eventually my body just shut down, and I ended up, people don't really know, during the pandemic, I ended up being in the hospital for about 4 days.
Fatigue?
4 days. Blood pressure was through the roof, cholesterol, everything. It was bad. It was just bad. Really, really bad. And that was a wake-up call for me. It was a wake-up call. Because it was like, you will not be able to continue doing what you love if you don't get this together. Your health is failing.
Yes.
You got to get it together. So, as hard as it was, obviously, for me to pause, I stopped performing. Obviously, the pandemic came, so that helped a lot. Because we couldn't do anything during the pandemic. We had to stop everything.
Yeah.
And not be sociable with everybody. So that helped a lot. Funny enough, though, during the pandemic, I got a call and I did a movie during the pandemic.
Did a movie?
I did a whole movie
On
soundtrack.
Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix. It's an independent film.
Okay.
But I did the soundtrack. I hired people to work with me on it.
What's the movie about? Action movie?
It's called, what is it called? Oceans. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Oh my God. See, this is the old part. I'm getting old. I can't remember everything. But yeah, so no, it was about two friends where they come from different backgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah, and music was the catalyst that brought them together. And so they did a movie about it, and they called me because somebody mentioned my name to them. Thank God that people are dropping my names in rooms that I'm not in.
Such a blessing.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
When I say God has his hand, I mean, I'm trying to tell you.
Believe in him.
I'm telling you.
Believe in him. Yes.
It happens like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna just drop this. I got to sing for Mavis Staples for her 80th birthday at the Ryman Auditorium, which is like the auditorium that you want, that most big name country artists have performed in.
Whoa.
But I got to serenade her for her 80th birthday at that auditorium. It was packed full of people, sold out.
Are you nervous?
And I'm talking about huge names in country music. Like multi-platinum winning, Grammy-nominated, Grammy-winning artists, country music.
Yes. And you're right there.
And I'm right in the midst of all of them. Singing. Serenading this lady.
Oh, my God.
Tamisha Waden from Durham, North Carolina.
I would be nervous as hell.
Only God could do that.
Of course, that's only God, for sure.
Only
For a
God
fact.
could do
I agree.
that.
100%.
Only God.
Of course. Who else?
And it's so crazy to me. Like there's a picture on my Instagram that, I posted, and a lot of people's like, oh, that's cute, that's nice, that's whatever. Y'all have no idea. I have an actual picture of it. Picture of all of the artists, myself, all of the big Grammy winning country artists and all of the other artists, both independent and big names, in one picture, in a frame at my house. Wow. Huge. People will never know what that means to me. And, it's like I say, it's just like, I heard somebody say this, tell God what you want to do, tell him about your plans, and he'll laugh at it. My plans mean nothing. I just kind of yield to whatever he sends, whatever it is. Okay, God, I'm going to go do this. So that's why I say, like,
Yeah, that's a very good point you just mentioned. So, because people always say, write down your plan, then take your plan, pray to God, tell him this is what you have going on. And me, I'd be like, no, my plan doesn't matter. I pray, I'd be like, God, show me the way. I'm following you. You're the leader. I'm right behind you. Lead my way, create my path.
Yep.
So, whatever I'm writing down doesn't really matter. It's like, that's just me. It's like me minus God. Like, that's nothing.
Yeah. While he is aware of what we want to do and
Yeah.
our desires, I think he's the kind of God that is like, I got this for you to do. But hey, maybe we'll allow you to do this too. I think in his permissive will, he does allow us to do certain things, but ultimately, the things that we do, I started to realize, like, this is not for me. I'm not here because of me. I'm here because of him. But I'm here to let others know. Same way he did this for me, because there ain't no way.
People always say there's always a connection to everything that we go through, or at least everything that we do. There's just another day I was just sitting down, and I would just try to think about it. I was like, let me try to see this connection type of thing.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's so true, because I found people, so long time ago, I said hello to them. There was nothing going on after that. We just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
But I'm finding myself now, especially when I'm doing this podcast, they calling me like, yo, I'm actually telling people about your podcast. I'm like, I met this person a long time ago. So I'm like, this is the connection. I met this way back there.
It's so crazy.
Just for this to happen now.
Yeah.
So even when you say when God lets you do that, it's not like he lets you do that. He knows exactly what that's going to lead to. That's why you're doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's almost like, okay, obviously it's all for his glory. It's all for his purpose, right?
For a fact.
But there's a purpose that's intended for you to be able to, I feel like, minister to other people, and like tell of like what he's done for you to create. I think the verse is faith comes by hearing by the word of God, right? So I think that in a nutshell is like faith comes by hearing by the word of God, like the preached word of God. But I also think that extends to like, look what he did for me here. He can do the same for you.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
That's what I think.
100%. I believe in that. So with that being said, how do you feel about when people say they don't believe in God? Like, God doesn't exist. This is just what the white man says. There's a God, but there's nothing pretty much. We just live and leave, and then you die. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, I think when people say that, I think they haven't taken the time to really be still and look around. Just be still and breathe. How are you doing this? Because you're not doing it on your own.
True.
You know what I mean? But I think they just haven't taken the time to really be still and listen and see. Because I think it's fairly clear. Like, we didn't create this. Clearly, something beyond who we are had to.
Yeah.
And if it's not God, then who?
Then who?
Right. I also think people are, at whatever time in their life, people have been deceived into believing certain things, and I don't judge. But what I do say is this: take the time to really listen
And understand.
and understand, because there's a power higher and bigger than we are. Okay,
I'm with that 100%.
whether you believe it or not, it is. How else do we get trees?
I believe in it.
How else do we get the fowls of the air, and the birds of the field? I mean, how?
There's people who believe we plant trees. So that's how we get trees.
There's a higher power, whatever you call them. There's one, and it's like I don't judge people.
I really don't judge people, but
Yeah.
sometimes they get me when they say stuff like I don't believe in God.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when something crazy happens, they still say, "Oh my God."
Oh my God! Yep, it's the first thing. It's the first thing they'll say. Yeah. No,
So, like,
I agree.
Why don't you call the other person whatever you believe in?
Yeah.
Call that person. Why
Yeah.
you calling
Yeah.
God for?
Yeah.
I thought you say it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It always throws me
Absolutely.
off, man. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Anyway, I think.
I think I'm okay. I don't think I want to.
Oh, you good right now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this because
I think another one I would be
Oh, you're gonna be.
comatose.
I don't want to be like that because it's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And this I told you this is my birthday weekend. I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. You came through. It was a good show. It's been 2 hours deep, man. Can you believe we've been here for 2 hours?
2 hours? Really?
hours.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we're 2 hours deep right now.
my
Like I'm
gosh.
telling you, we've been going like, yo, I'm gonna just let you say your last words before
Yeah,
we close the
sure.
show because I don't want it to keep going till like it's 3 hours. Nobody gonna watch the show no more. It's
Well,
gonna like
I will say this. Thank you so much, Lemmy, for having me on the show today. Like, it's been so much fun, like just sharing and talking with you. Y'all go check my music out. I'm Tamisha Waden. You can find me on any platform you listen to your music. So Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you are. I'm on I'm on Instagram at Tamisha Waden. That's TamishaWaden. I'm on Facebook, so you can see me there at I am Tamisha Waden. I'm on Twitter, if you still do Twitter,
yeah, we do.
at Tamisha
Or
Waden.
X.
Yes, or X,
X,
right.
yeah.
Absolutely. I'm also on TikTok at official Tamisha Waden. You can find me there as well. I also have a website that's TamishaWaden.com. Check me out, y'all. I've got merch, t-shirts. Holla at me.
Oh, you should have brought me one.
I didn't have any leftovers, so I had to have sent off to have some made. So
my
you know what? I will
goodness.
get you
Summertime.
one.
All right.
I will definitely get you one.
medium size.
Yes, medium. I'll get you one. For sure.
Medium. Medium.
Yes, I'll definitely get you one.
Thank you so much for coming
Yes,
through. I
thank you.
appreciate you. It's been a loving 2 hours. We've been here listening to you.
Yes.
You're great story.
Oh,
I
thank
can't
you.
wait to have you again. I
Yes.
know my fans who's going to be your fans now.
Absolutely.
I've learned so much about you.
Yeah.
They're going to be waiting to hear about you, and they're going to be waiting to see you in Kenya sometime
Woo!
this year.
Can't wait to
this
go.
is 2025. This is our first episode this year, and this is the new year, and it's my birthday. I'm going in because why not? And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Till I see you next time. We out.
Peace.
Nairobi City, ooh, Nairobi City. Tunaleta action, ooh, Nairobi City. Ooh, Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tunachafua meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city, Chafuwa Meza. Don Kings in the building. Kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tunachafua meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city, Chafuwa Meza. Don Kings in the building.